welcome to the Legacy Community Talk Podcast.
Your hand in every part of my whole life from the start. Jesus, you have always been with me. No matter where I was, you found a way to show up. Jesus, you have always been with me. Oh, there's never a season, never a place where I am alone, where you don't show your face. Right here I remember, how could I forget? Your faithfulness has never left me. Where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? I'm amazed by all you've done. Oh Jesus, where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? And I can't say thank you enough. All the ways you saved, you pulled me out of the grave. Jesus, you have always been for me. Yes, you have. All my life is a proof that you can make anything good. Jesus, you have always been for me. And where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? I'm amazed by all you have done. Oh Jesus, where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? And I can't say thank you enough. Oh, there's never a season, never a place where I am alone, where you don't show your face. Right here I remember, how could I forget? Your faithfulness has never left me. Where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? I'm amazed by all you have done. Oh Jesus, where would I be without you? Where would I be without your love? And I can't say thank you enough. Oh Jesus, where would I be
Welcome to the Legacy Community Talk Podcast. I am joined today by my dear friend, Jasmine Massingill. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Jack.
Jasmine has agreed to sit with us today and take part in a short series we are running, Discovery and Recovery. Shall we have a quick prayer first?
Please.
Okay. Father God, we are so grateful and we trust in you with our lives and all you give to us. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to build this platform for our community so they too may find peace and love and inspiration for those who come to share their stories and information to better serve everyone who may need help, resources, and encouragement. In Jesus' precious name, amen.
Amen.
So Jasmine, you shared with me some testimony, and I believe because you have such a unique story to share, that we believe it will land on ears that are searching for answers in their own decision making. Are you in agreement with that?
I hope so.
I think so. We know each other a little bit, and I'm looking forward to others hearing your story. Anywhere you want to start?
Yeah. So I've read my testimony several times at several different opportunities. So I have it typed out and I have it mapped out. But I do believe that God shows up, which is the theme of my testimony. But coming to different themes, I felt like I kind of wanted to start it just a little bit differently. Start amidst the chaos instead of kind of at the beginning, kind of like having the dessert before the appetizer.
However you want to tell it. It's your story.
Okay, well, so I think it was in 2021, I started thinking that I was going to write a short story to dramatize my life in a different light. So I just kind of want to read the first paragraph, and then we'll go back. We'll take it back, if that's cool. Okay,
That sounds
cool.
real cool.
So here we go. The boards were supposed to withhold the strength. If anyone were to come through that door, I only wanted to play piano so that anyone would hear me. I guess I tried to leave clues. I took my journal and I circled meaningful words as if I was trying to quickly compose a poem as I decided on my exit from the earth. I sat into the closet that blended in with the tiniest bedroom of the tiniest house I had ever called home. Before my 1/4-inch instrumental cord was secured, I turned my iPhone 6 to the theme song from the movie The Perfect Storm. You've probably seen it. If you haven't, you've definitely heard of it. The ending is absolutely horrible. The whole movie, you can't help but feel so hopeful, so much love. It's actually incredible. But then, boom. This movie, based on a true story, comes to a tragic end. And sorry to be a spoiler alert, but no one survives the horrible storm. A eulogy is read by the lovely Diane Lane, great actress, and she makes you feel as if you too have lost the love of your life. But all actors aside, I trust you. I want to make you feel as if you've stepped into my true story, in hopes that you or someone next to you may hear me. So that's the intro.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
And I do remember seeing that movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as being a past fisherman on the other side of the country, yeah, I did take that movie to heart, and we watched that, and yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, you talk about the eulogy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great start. We'll be looking forward to hearing more of that story as you continue on with that. That's great.
Absolutely.
Where are we going from there?
Well, from there, we're just going to take it back to the beginning. My sister used to always call me a drama queen, and I didn't think that I was more dramatic than the next person, but of course, if you've met my son, Phoenix, you could probably imagine what I was like.
We've been blessed to meet the young man. We sure have.
The kid of many expressions.
Yeah.
That book will be later, I guess. So I was born in Texas in 1991 in January. I like to joke about me spending my time in jail before I actually broke the law, and that's because my biological mom was incarcerated when she was pregnant with me. So the only kid that she had, I was the last one, but I was almost saved in jail because she wasn't exposed the whole time during pregnancy to drugs and alcohol. But for a while I was. But in Texas, I was adopted at 6 months old. I was adopted into a family, and God showed up for me. God showed up for my family because they were looking for children when my mom was unable to conceive. But yeah, so I was adopted in Texas, and I spent the beginning of my life in Texas in a blended family. All sorts of colors, and I didn't see color. I just saw love. But I thought that was normal. I thought that everybody felt unconditional love because it felt so good. I mean, my family supported me.
So was this, you were adopted along with
My brother Josh.
your brother Josh, okay?
Yes.
But was this also a fostering home as well? Were there kids coming in and out? Or was mom and dad keeping all of you?
Yeah, they did foster. Previously, they adopted my second oldest sister, Emily, when she was 5. My mom adopted her when my mom was single. And my dad was married once before, and he had 2 kids from that marriage. And then they blended together, and then they had decided that they wanted a baby brother. And so they went to the Texas system, and they found Josh. And they had visits with him, and they were just about to finalize that adoption process. And they heard that he had a baby sister.
Wow.
That's me.
I only ask because fostering is just, what a unique heart, someone has to have. And then to have a couple, a married couple, that wants to continue to open their home to children, adoption, fostering, it's absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing that part.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there I was.
There you were, in Texas.
In Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The BOGO sale. Because they didn't know about me, so I joke also.
So buy one, get one.
Buy one, get one. So they got the brother and the sister.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, very good.
yeah, super cool deal for them.
Yeah, very cool.
And yeah, but so I grew up in Texas, and it was great. We did sports, lots of opportunity. We was a suburb of Dallas that we grew up in called Plano. Prior to that, both of my parents were Dallas police officers. That's how they met.
Both your parents were Dallas police officers.
Yes. My
Oh.
mom was a sergeant. Sergeant Mary.
Sergeant Mary?
Yes. And her maiden name is Jasmine. There's 2 S's, 2 N's. And that was before they named me Jasmine. But they wanted a baby, and she wanted to name the baby Jasmine. And once they heard about my name already being Jasmine,
Wow.
they said, this is God.
This is incredible.
These are our kids.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing because already you're telling us the hearts of your mother and your father. That's absolutely amazing to be able to credit God with all that. So we know their hearts are good and they're already living a life that the Lord has set for them.
Yes. And
That's amazing. Thank
I
you
had
for
great examples of parents. Moving past Texas, my mom got the call. The call.
that. The bat signal?
Not the bat signal.
Okay.
Not that one. Different
Okay.
call.
Okay.
That was,
That came later?
yeah. We'll do a different show for that one.
What was the call, Jasmine?
The call was from God, Jack.
Okay.
The call was from God.
Okay.
And God said, you're supposed to be a minister, a Methodist minister. And my mom's from South Dakota, Pierre, South Dakota. God shows up again, and we moved to South Dakota, Edgemont, South Dakota, when I was going into the 5th grade. And we'd been to Mount Rushmore, seen the Badlands, went to Wall Drug. They have that super cool big dinosaur that does the thing. I don't know if it's still there. I'd like to show my son, but that would be cool. And by that I mean I would like to see it again for me.
Of course.
Super good fudge
East
there.
Mount, South Dakota. We'll make a note of that.
Yeah, please
For
do.
any kids wanting to see the dinosaur
Yeah,
at Wall Drug. Okay.
yeah.
Noted. It's awesome.
So Edgemont was a town of 900 people, literally in the edge of the corner of South Dakota, and there were no black people. There were no stoplights. I was like, what is this? And it was hard. It was a culture shock. It was a adjustment, to say the least. But my mom was a minister, and I was confirmed in church, and I played piano in church, and we were active in the church for a good while, and I helped start a kids choir, but I wasn't really invested in that. It was just kind of, well, we're helping out mom, preacher's kids. That's just kind of what we do. And
So you're a teenager by this point.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Sure.
yes. And going into 8th grade, so in the Methodist conference, the bishop can move you whenever, where it's needed, where the minister's needed. With us, it was every 4 years or so we got placed. So after year 4 in Edgemont, we got placed in McCluskey, North Dakota.
Oh, yes, sure.
So, and McCluskey's right in the heart of North Dakota.
My dad was born there. I know all about McCluskey.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know you were in McCluskey either.
What? I guess we really don't know each other that well. Yeah,
That's
they got
awesome.
a big heart right in the middle of town. It's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, so McCluskey's even smaller than Edgemont. So,
Yep, very small, sure.
yes, I felt like I was under a microscope.
Sounds like McCluskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool, you know.
So you're a teenager. You're at the end of 8th grade here. You've moved to McCluskey now. Mom's taken another position
Yes.
assigned by the bishop of the Methodist Church.
Yes.
Right, okay. And so take
I
us from
believe it
there.
was Perry Wilson at the time. But yeah, so we moved and, you know, we did church. I played piano for every service, did the children's choir. My brother and I sang together. Oh Holy Night was one of the favorites. But again, like that microscope look, you know, I felt like I just couldn't mess up. I felt like a goody kid, you know. That's when I first tried drinking. I believe I was 16. And everybody knew. The whole town knew about it. You know, I remember sitting in the high school gym of McCluskey, and our coach found out, and I had so much guilt and so much shame because he asked the team, the girls' basketball team, who all was at the party, and I stood up right away. And nobody else did. So I had to sit out for a game. But that was I was just like, wow. I thought we were supposed to do the right thing. This is the right thing, right? So,
Standing up and admitting what you've done.
right.
Sure.
Right. So, since then, I mean, well, we'll keep going, I guess.
Yeah, because there you didn't stay in McCluskey. You moved on. And sounds like when we had talked prior, and we do know each other, just for the listeners, we know each other
Yeah.
fairly well. And so there was music. Music was, you were following the music.
Yeah, it was
you
home.
want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, my mom taught me piano when I was 6. She sang to me ever since they got me, and that's my connection. And I didn't realize it until after, you know, all the chaos, the hope, the chaos, all of it, that music is my connection to God. That's just, it is what it is, and it's a blessing that He's blessed my mom with, and she blessed me with it. And that's where I took it to Minot. I got a music scholarship to Minot State University. I had thought about going to a couple different schools, but I just wasn't really ready to leave the nest, which is strange now thinking about it because I had loved the city. But, you know, Minot was closer to home, and I knew at a smaller university I would be able to get a response from my teachers pretty quick if I had questions or if I was struggling, because I knew I was going to have to do math. I'm horrible at math.
I'm sure. I hear you.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's bad.
Okay, we believe you.
It's pretty bad.
Okay. So Minot State, there you are.
Minot State, yeah. So I got a music education degree from Minot State. I graduated in 2015, and I landed a teaching job right away. So that was exciting because it was like, okay, I'm a real adult now.
Music teacher?
Music teacher,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
I was a traveling elementary music teacher, taught kindergarten through 6th grade music. I had my keyboard with me, and I remembered they had an open mic night at Ebenezer's, which is kind of like the Blarney Stone of Minot.
Okay.
I don't know if I should compare those two. It's good Irish food. We'll just go with that.
All right. All right.
But they have live music almost every night of the... If not every night, they have it every night of the week. And they had an open mic night. And I brought my keyboard in one night, and I think I sang Alicia Keys' If I Ain't Got You.
Oh, it's a great song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it's a cool piano part, so it sounds really impressive. It's really just 3 fingers that are doing the cool thing. But
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. After that, I started gigging, bringing my keyboard places. Felt pretty cool. I was getting my name out there, but I was also pairing that with drinking a bunch. And I talked with one of the band members of Soulshine, which is a regular band that plays on the weekends at Minot, and they asked me if I wanted to join the band. I felt super cool.
Made the big time is what you're thinking.
Big leagues,
Right.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I can follow that.
So it was cool. So I was gigging. I started my piano studio. I was teaching kids. And I was teaching kindergarten through 6th grade, just general music. And everything that I was doing was revolving around music. I was making teacher money, and at the time that was big money to me. I got my first car to my name from a dealership, so that was cool. But with teaching and gigging and the lifestyle that I was choosing, I was dabbling into drugs and alcohol and weed, lots and lots of alcohol. But I was functioning, but I didn't think about it as functioning.
So I'm thinking that we're soon going to find out how hard it is to balance the evening lifestyle and the teaching and, well, like you said, the drugs and alcohol, right?
Right.
So you want to lead us into that?
Yeah, it was like a double life, like night and day, sort of. By day, I was Miss Massingill, teaching beat master to my students and learning about recorders. Not one of my favorite subjects. Recorder karate was pretty cool for them. But yeah, so I started to hang out with people that were also partying regularly, and one night I found myself doing harder drugs than weed. I was dabbling in cocaine. The feeling that I was getting while mixing everything plus playing music felt like this is how music is supposed to feel. I get it now. And
You were experiencing like a euphoria.
Yes.
You were finding pleasure in the cocaine and the music, and sure, and we read about musicians all the time, right?
Right.
I mean, sure, yeah, that's a temporary placement, right?
Yes.
Continue, please. This is getting interesting.
Yeah. Looking back, I didn't realize that I was numbing a lot of things that I had gone through in high school. I was violated as a minor by a family member, and I never had addressed it. That person got to address it because I remember when that person was doing their treatment, they called me, and in their healing, they said they had to make their amends by saying how many times it happened. And I think what's really important is that every time it did happen, I was asleep. And it was kind of like that mid feeling of like, am I awake or am I dreaming? But yeah, now, looking back, I see a lot of that was the reason for numbing. So, while I was gigging, this double life, I quickly found out about an even harder drug, and that was unfortunately methamphetamine. And that's when things kind of took a turn for the worse, and spiraled down and spiraled out of control. It was 2017 in April, and I was, when you first try meth, I felt normal, and I felt like awake. I felt confident, and it wasn't all bad in my mind at first. It just felt like, okay, I can function. I can still teach. I can still work with kids. I can still have these gigs at night, and I'm making money, and I'm leading worship at Emmanuel Baptist Church. And it's just, in my mind, it was just like coffee. Wake up.
Yeah, and we hear that from anybody who's walked that path with crystal meth, right?
Right.
So yeah, right. But that's short-lived, right?
Very, very much short-lived.
And so on?
Yeah. So I the people just kept coming. And when I say that, I just mean broken people started coming, and I was feeling validated. I was feeling needed by people because I would provide the drugs for them because I had the funds, and I had an apartment, and I had a car, and I would lend my car out all the time. All the fun stuff, became rumors. I still don't know who it was that made a call, but honestly, I'd like to thank that person, because there was one morning I went to school to teach, and I got called down to the principal's office, and they said that we'd heard a rumor that you were using drugs, and we'd like to check your teacher bag. And I, was confident that I would never bring drugs into school, but I did have I have paraphernalia. I had a a one-hitter for marijuana in my teaching bag. So I remember it very clearly that I said I got sent home that day.
That's they're protecting the kids. That's their
Right.
priority.
Right.
They find that, then you're out of there.
Absolutely.
At least for that day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Yeah. So the euphoria was gone. It didn't feel like coffee anymore. I felt more scared than I ever have while I was awake. So they put me on paid leave because it was under investigation. And then when I was driving home, I don't even remember who I called. It all happened so fast. I came home and I would say maybe within 7 to 9 minutes, the task force showed up at my apartment door. They had dogs, and mind you, this is goody Jasmine. I didn't know anything about what a raid was, what the task force was, the feds, like all these things. Just, I mean, it was like, I don't know. It was like learning a whole nother language, and I still didn't know about what was going on. But so the task force came, and my teaching position ended. You know, that I'm grateful that they gave me the opportunity. They said, Jasmine, you can either withdraw and resign quietly, or we're gonna fire you.
Right. And you'll make it in the paper.
Right.
Right. Nice
As
picture.
that
and all
music
that.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So you did resign then.
I did resign, and that was God showing up again for me. And you know, because I didn't lose my license, but yeah. So after that, the spiral just kept going. It kept going. I lost my apartment, lost my car. I tried to carry all. I kept switching apartments. I think I lived in maybe like 5 different apartments.
Let's go back just a second.
Mm-hmm.
So, God showing up in that resignation, right? Did you know at the time, or looking back now,
Yeah.
after where you're at today, then you realize God was showing up.
Right.
But then you kind of jumped us pretty quickly into losing the job, losing the car, losing all these things. Is this related to the behavior discontinued? You were getting deeper and deeper
Yes.
into these things? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we were clear on that. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely,
continue
absolutely.
on.
Yeah, so just to go back into that a little bit more, you know, I was housing people that were homeless. It was the apartments right above Starving Rooster, so they're really cute. They're really cute lofts. So I lived above there, and what was happening was the restaurant was so popular, but also people just kept coming through the doors, up and down and up and down, and it looked sketchy. I got evicted. Yeah,
Oh,
it looked bad.
you were getting a lot of company.
A lot of company.
Okay,
and
sure.
Yep, lots of traffic.
Yep.
So when I got evicted, so did everybody that I was housing. So I got a different house. I got a different apartment. My brother Josh was with me at that time, and you know, I started trying different methods of using meth, and you know, we're still in 2017, and all this is happening so fast. But I was in this place, and that's kind of where I started from. Was at the beginning of the book, was this house that I was renting at Hiawatha. The potency of the meth was so strong that I started to stumble between reality and psychosis, and I was thinking these horrible things, and I started hearing voices. It got so scary that, you know, at the beginning of when I was talking about being in the closet, I tried to commit suicide in the closet, because the voices were not telling me to, but I was so confused and I couldn't find answers, and I felt like I was like here, but I like my body was here, but I couldn't find anybody that would listen to me. You know, I wrote down in my notebook, I just wanted to play my piano so somebody would hear me.
Let's just give our listeners a little bit of insight as to what some of those dangers or those experiences are like with crystal meth, right? Yeah. So we're talking paranoia.
Yes.
We're talking no sleep for
days, weeks.
Long periods of time.
Yes.
Right. No eating.
Right.
Very malnutritioned. These things that'll send us into these thinkings, these voices, as you're explaining, right? That'll put us into a closet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So,
yeah.
So kids, stay away from crystal meth, right?
Stay away from it.
Stay away from it. It's
Far away.
Okay, sure. So, you're in the voices stage now. We had some notes on that. So, yeah, please continue.
So this is, and I just want to add, like, also the, especially the non-eating thing, or not even craving food. that was a big thing toward the beginning of the addiction. Why I think it wrapped its arms, I should say, it wrapped its claws around me so tightly was because I have always struggled with self-image. I've always struggled with thinking that I was too big, or, I feel like I had heard so many times, like, oh, you would probably find somebody, you've got a great face, you just got to lose a little bit of weight. Ever since I was 4 years old, that rang in my ears.
So that was coming back. That was the
Yes.
voices coming back strong.
Yes. And I was
Wow.
losing so much weight, I was just like, wow, this is great. I don't even have to jog. I hate running.
Wow.
I hate running.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I do. And
Dangerous.
right.
Very dangerous.
Right. And people would ask me about it. Wow, you're losing a lot of weight. And I was just saying, well, just diet.
Right.
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 So I was, and I was just thinking, I still have all my teeth. We're good. We're good.
Right.
So,
What a catch. She has teeth.
right. That's what we'll title this.
Yeah. Now we got a different title in mind, but we're not going to share with that yet because there's some good stuff.
There is good stuff.
It's starting to happen. You're on this
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah.
You're on this journey, and you've got God walking beside you. We know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please continue to share with our listeners.
Yeah. Little did I know. I mean, he kept showing up. When I was in the closet, going back to the perfect storm, I like to call it, because, dramatic Jasmine, I wanted a theme song to die to. And it was the theme from The Perfect Storm.
That's why you shared with us just a few minutes ago when you started
Yes.
out about exit from the earth,
Yes.
is what you said, and I caught that.
That's my exit music.
Here's your exit music. Isn't that something?
Mm.
Boy. I am so grateful that you're sitting here and sharing this. We want this story to continue and to tell others.
Yeah.
We want to let people know that they're loved and they can,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely right. We can do
Yeah.
anything through Christ who strengthens us.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
You're at the closet part.
I'm at the closet. I'm in the closet, and I've got my exit music playing, and my brother. I even put a wooden board. I tried to jam it under the door handle so nobody could come in, and my brother came in. He broke through the door, and he helped me. And there was a friend with him, and he sat with me in the closet. Even now, I'm not going to hold any doubt, but I feel like I was talking to Jesus at that point, and he said, "You're worth it." And he was feeling my palms. He was almost making circles on my palms, and he was saying that you're worth it and you're loved, and this is not what you want to do. You're supposed to do more. I don't usually share that part of my testimony, but I feel called to do that because I feel confident that was God.
I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
You're telling us that that childhood upbringing, those years with mom and dad, moving to those different assignments
Yes.
as the church life was staying with you. That thinking that's awesome to hear that.
Yeah.
So you thought God was there,
I
rubbing your
did.
palms.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
That's very good.
So I came out of that, but all in all, I continued to use after that because I got so scared to go to sleep because that trauma from my past of, being violated when I was asleep moved into my adulthood, and I didn't want to sleep because nothing bad can happen when you're awake. So I thought.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, I was evicted from that place too, so I moved on. Again, found different methods of using the drug, and the drug sunk in deeper and deeper in my mind, and I can't even tell you how many times I went to the psych ward, Ward 3C in Minot.
Ward 3C,
yep. Psych ward. But I got sent there because I would be found doing really crazy things, and now learning more about the brain and the effects of drugs, because I'm going to school and I'm studying to learn more because I'm genuinely interested and curious, because I see men and women, kids affected by the drugs, and it's horrible, and it needs to end.
Because you've chosen to get this education to help others.
Yes.
Right. And that's why we're doing the podcast too. We're trying to reach out and help others as well. So it's just an amazing story here, what drugs can do.
Thank you. Yeah. It's yeah, and everybody's affected differently.
So during this time, I just want to ask you: are you holding a job at all? I mean, how are you bringing in the income through the drugs?
So when they allowed me to resign quietly, when you sign up for a job, you sign up for the benefits and all these things, and I had signed up to get my I don't even know what it's called. It's so confusing to me.
So you had some money to fall
Yeah,
back
I
on.
pulled out my pension when I was 26.
Okay, okay,
And
26.
yes,
okay.
I was 26, so it was.
Alright.
I can't even remember how much it was. I thought I was balling. I thought I was, you know.
I was
Beyonce.
just curious. I thought that was just something that maybe the listeners were interested in too.
No.
is how is she surviving? How is she continuing to move to
Right.
different apartments? Right.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
exactly,
right.
exactly. No, I was not working. I was living in and out of hotels, apartments, but I had gotten an apartment, but by now I had started getting arrested at least once a month for
Oh.
trespassing or getting kicked out of places or just things that
Irrational thinking that comes with the
Yes.
crystal meth user.
yes,
Absolutely.
within the psychosis for sure.
Yep.
And that went on from 2017 to 2018, and by then I had started injecting, and I remember my friend telling me I lost a lot of my friends, a lot of my colleagues that I went to college with, a lot of my teaching friends. I was fired from. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I was fired from the church or not. I think I was, but to sum it up, everything that I was thriving in my life naturally without the drug, I lost. I lost my relationship with my dad, my mom, my brother, and it got to a point where I was just sitting in a room using and just lost. I was coloring. I was, feeling at one of the lowest point in my life. I was in these relationships that were abusive. These things just kept happening, and I just kept getting quieter, and the voices in my head kept getting louder. And by then they were dark, they were evil. They were telling me that I was a horrible person, and I could hear the voices, like in a lot of, it sounds weird, but like a lot of appliances. Like if somebody were to like turn the faucet on, I could like hear it in the water, or I could hear it when cars drove by, or I could hear it like in the humming of the heater. And I was so scared, and like I started reacting to them, and I would talk to them. I would be like, "You guys knock it off." I'm sure that looked really normal. So, in and out of the psych wards, in and out of jail. It was a lot. It was a lot for me, and so we went in for another year, and by we I mean me and all the voices. Another year of addiction, and it was October. And in this part, I was bouncing. By then, it was just I had lost everything, besides everything that I had in my backpack. So I everything that I owned was gone except what was in the backpack, and sometimes the backpack was gone.
Wow.
There's so much.
Living out of a backpack. 2019 comes on, and you've got that was a trying year as well,
It was.
right?
It was.
You want to tell us a little bit about 2019?
So 2019, I went to the trap house, and I was trying to get high, and I could not get high like I used to, and I knew that something was different. I either the drugs weren't working, or there was something up with me, and I don't even know how I was able to make a doctor appointment, but I did, and that was October 6th of 2019, and that's my recovery date. That is the date that I heard God. And in this doctor appointment, I remember getting this news. I was all alone, and the doctor said that, one, you have hepatitis C, which is a blood-infected disease that you catch from sharing dirty needles. And she also said that I was 9 weeks pregnant.
Oh.
So I said, okay, thank you. And then I walked out. And I was walking up the hill.
You were 9 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
Still in that psychosis of crystal meth.
Right.
Even though you didn't feel like it was doing anything for you any longer.
Right.
But you probably weren't still sleeping either.
Right.
Right. Sure. You're walking up the hill.
I was walking up the hill. It was morning. North Hill in Minot. It's like the voices like It's almost like when Moses parted the sea. It's like the voices went east and west, and God showed up, and he said, Jasmine, you can have this baby, and you can put this life behind you, or you can continue on, but it's not going to be anything that you want to be a part of. You don't want to do the other thing. You can get sober and go into treatment.
He showed up at the right time.
He did. He
'Cause
did.
You're walking up a hill with a backpack. Everything you owned was in that backpack already. Everything from that past had brought you to that decision going up North Hill
Yep.
with that backpack.
Yep.
Well, I love how you say that, though. It's like we parted the sea for Moses.
That's
Isn't that
what it
amazing?
felt like.
Well, sure, of course.
'Cause, yeah, they were so loud. I mean, they were right behind me.
Those voices were right there,
They were right there.
trying to drag you back down the hill.
Yes.
Sure.
Luckily, yeah, I was walking up. It felt like the staircase to hope. You know, God didn't tell me that he was going to send me these angels that walk around on earth. I'm talking about humans. He didn't announce that, but why would he need to? He sent me one, and this is a friend of mine. His name is Vern. He lives in Minot, and Vern had helped me out with rides because by then I was on foot. But he had helped me out if I wanted to go to the pantry or get a free meal, because there are resources out there in Minot that can help people that are ready to be helped. But I called him, and I said I'm ready for treatment. So Vern got me a hotel room. You know, by this time I had shaved my head.
So, Vern, he's there.
Yep.
God sent him to rescue you.
He sent me an angel
Yes.
that walks on earth. Yes.
Man.
And he got me that hotel room. I brought my wig, and it was purple.
Okay.
But yeah, so I spent. I got my backpack and I took it to the hotel room, and then he took me to North Central in Minot, and I got an eval done. Super scared, and they said, "Well, we've got a bed available. You can come in tomorrow." You know, that was October 9th, 2019.
October 9th, 2019.
2019. So I went into treatment. I went into inpatient treatment, and I said, I'm gonna have this baby. I'm gonna get sober. And it sounds super easy. Was not. It was a struggle, because even in treatment, you know, there are temptations of evil, and I still didn't seek out God, but I could now, again, looking back, he was pulling me in each and every day.
Sure, of course he was.
Yeah. So in November of that year, I was in my, second month of treatment. I had finally, did reunification with my parents. I was okay with talking with them. I was embarrassed. There was a lot of guilt, a lot of shame talking to my siblings, because I wasn't talking to them to ask them for money or anything. I was talking to them to try to remember who I was through them, because my family is my home. So in the midst of being in residential treatment and being newly sober from everything, November my dad passed away. I got a call. It was my mom, and I remember getting the phone in the guest room at Brooklyn Flats, is the house that I lived in, and I just started screaming. I mean, I was pissed. I was scared. I was sad. I was shocked. Everything, all of the emotions came at once. And I was just so angry at God, because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was good. And, I was getting sober. I was going to have this baby, and I was upset. And,
So,
yeah.
I just want to make a note of this. It crosses my mind. So, pre-Dad passing away, you're in treatment, but you still didn't feel the presence of God.
No,
But when Dad passes away, all of a sudden, you're blaming God.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is just a point I want to point out, because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do, right? Sure. Immediately, we want to blame God for things.
Absolutely. It was nobody's fault but God in my mind. So that was hard. I went down to South Dakota. They were living in Mobridge. My dad was building a house for them to retire in. I never did get to, he hadn't finished it, but so we went there, and I went to the funeral. Again, one of the hardest things that I ever had to do.
You left treatment to go to the funeral in Mobridge?
Yes.
What happens after you leave treatment and go to the funeral?
Well, after I leave treatment and go to the funeral, in December I got onto housing, and I got the resources that I needed. I got on WIC. I got on food stamps. I had a Section 8 voucher, so I got an apartment in Minot. Now we're kind of looking into 2020 where there's kind of rumors of this sickness that's going around, this thing that might be deadly. You know, nobody knew where it was coming from. I still had this baby growing inside me. Then COVID was announced on the news.
Mm-hmm.
I was already
March of 2020, everything shut down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
We remember it well, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
And already going through my own battles of mental health still, because I still hear the voices, because they were trying to find a combination of prescription drugs that would help my mental health, because that was a struggle. COVID hit. So April 13th, 2020 comes the due date of the boy that saved my life.
That's our story that you're sharing with us.
There it
the
is.
boy who saved my life.
The boy saved my life.
We're excited.
Yes.
Please share with us.
And not only mine, Phoenix is, he's our hope child for our family. I named him Phoenix because the phoenix is a majestic bird that symbolizes rebirth, symbolizes a new beginning from the ashes. My dad was cremated, but I believed that Phoenix is the hope child for our family, and definitely, my saving grace that God made the big debut showing
Beautiful.
up. Yeah.
Beautiful. Because many of us here at the church have the privilege of knowing him.
Yeah.
And we're honored to play, once in a while, that small little part of chasing him down.
Yes. He's fast.
Where's he at in the church?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah, God is showing up. And
Yeah, he did.
yeah, you're finding his grace
Yes.
and his love.
Yes. And, it was weird in COVID because the hospitals were, everything was shut. The hospitals were shut down. I could only have one person there. My mom was there. Bless her heart.
Where are you doing this in Mobridge? Or are you up here now already?
Because of the Hep C and because of other complications I had during my pregnancy, I was high risk. So my doctor was in Bismarck, but I lived in Minot still. I still had an apartment in Minot.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just a single 1-bedroom apartment. So we had Phoenix. I had Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give credit to myself for all that pushing.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
But, so it was just me and my mom in the room. So, because of the isolation that was going on, only mom got to meet him. So everybody else in my family had to, unfortunately, wait and just see him over FaceTime.
Yep, right.
Zoom.
I would
Everybody
call
learned how to
video
work Zoom.
For sure I would.
Yeah.
April 13th, 2020.
2020.
The boy who saved my life.
4/13/2020. That's my baby.
So you're getting closer to God at this time? You're believing in miracles?
I'm going to church every once in a while, but I'm falling in love more than anything else, more than any love that I had ever felt. I'm doing that. But there's more chaos, unfortunately, because during COVID, not only was it mental health struggles, but I had relapsed several times, even being a new mom. I felt like there was a piece of me missing. I felt like I was missing out because I was just being a mom. So I was just dabbling here and there. I replaced one addiction with the other. I was drinking extremely heavily. It was okay because I was isolated, but I was really struggling that year in 2020, much like everybody.
Everybody, right. Because we're not seeing anybody.
Nobody.
We're all in lockdown.
There's no human interaction except,
right.
Except for me and my baby.
That was hard.
It was super hard.
Boy, those hard years.
You guys remember? Yeah, and it feels unreal sometimes. It feels very strange. Just thinking about it. But by the grace of God, I never did get COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, God shows up. I'm not privy to it. At that point, I got so sick of relapsing. I couldn't use the way I wanted to because I knew, I was paranoid that something would happen and I would lose Phoenix. And I didn't want to have that feeling of him taken out of my arms. So at the end of the year, I decided I'm gonna move to Bismarck because I need a new environment. I need a change. I transferred my housing voucher. I moved in with my mom for just a little bit, while I was trying to find a place. And I found a place, and I've been in that apartment ever since. I've been with Phoenix ever since.
Of course. Yeah.
Yep.
He was never taken away.
It never was, and I don't know what. I don't want to think about that. I just knew that God gave me this opportunity.
You were starting to recognize that at this time now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
With this final move.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And with my upbringing, like I told everybody in the beginning, like I had really good examples of unconditional love and parenting, and and with my dad being gone, I couldn't lose the hope for myself, for my family. So I started searching for God at that point. I started looking for different churches. I went to several, but I ended up going to a service in Evangel, and the worship team was singing the song Wellspring. I just heard the chorus. So oh, your love is a wellspring, you fill us up with water that never runs dry. I don't know what it was. Well, obviously it was God. It was God. I felt God. I cried. I got in touch with the worship leader at Evangel, and I said, how do I get down there? You guys look like you are in love with God. And like, I do love God because I'm supposed to. That's how I was raised. But I want to love God. I want to do that. And, having that foundation of music, I knew that was the way I needed to do it. That if I wanted to know him, that's how I was going to do it.
Sure.
So I auditioned. I got on the worship team, and I worshipped, and then I started seeking further. I started seeking further in the Word. I started working as a care coordinator, where I was now involved in church, but I started working with broken people, homeless people. This was me, no more than 2 or 3 years ago. I started feeling more and more of a pull to do something about this, that it needed to end, but I just couldn't find a direction. So that led to, me having a conversation with my mom, and she had sent me an ad that Legacy was looking for a worship leader. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of responsibility. The last time I was a worship leader, I was pairing it with getting high before doing that, and I still felt inadequate. I felt like I was nothing. Like I could seek God in quiet, at home, read my Bible, and I could do some worship at Evangel because it's a big team, so I didn't want to stand out or anything like that, but that's not what God was telling me.
Right, because you had more stability at this point,
Right.
Because you've gone through all of that, and you've got to do your baby steps into finding Evangel, and
Yes.
then you see there's an opening at Legacy Church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we came to church here. My mom came with me. I remembered those windows. I wish I'd brought my iPad because it's the background of my iPad, but I got that deja vu feeling that I had been here before. When I walked through the doors, I was just like, Mom, have we been here before? And she said, well, Jasmine, this is where I was ordained. It's very rare when all the siblings plus our parents had been together. The last time I was here, all the siblings were together and my dad was with us. I have a picture of us sitting in front of that window.
Amazing. You had not paired those together
I had not.
until you walked in. Then you, wow.
Yeah. So I had been here before, and
You
that
have
was
been before.
God.
Sure.
God showed up. So
Amazing.
I applied, and then I met with at the time it was Pastor Brandon and Pastor Corey, and Steph was here. I played for them, King of Kings, and I started leading worship here at Legacy. That was in 2023 September of 2023, and I've been here ever since. I was a care coordinator for a while, and now I work at West Central, and I work with youth. I work with 6th grade through 12th grade kids that are struggling with behavioral health, addiction, any sort of barrier that is preventing them from moving forward or from learning. So I work with them on skills, daily skills that they can learn. And I felt called by God, and he definitely showed up again because I was working with adults, but now I work with kids. So maybe I can intervene. Maybe I can work with God to help inspire them before it gets to that point. Because I started my addiction when I was 26. That's hard drugs. I started hard drugs at 26. And if I can be a step in there, to use my experiences, then by God, I will.
And you shared with us, you shared with us earlier on too, some of those trials that had come into your life when you were a child as well.
Yes.
So there's those things as well that you may be able to maybe play, a part in their lives with, right? To watching out for signs and all these different things that
Yes.
I believe God is using you for, right? He's using us all. I met you here at Legacy. You know, there's no coincidence as to why we're sitting across the table from
Right.
each other, because we're dear friends. At least I think that.
Yes,
but
we've had a few laughs.
We've had a lot of laughs. It's been a lot of fun. So the boy who saved my life, Phoenix, you know, it's an incredible story that you're sharing. We've talked about this. Our focus is trying to reach others that may have found themselves in your position, right? Whether it's so many different things here. It's the drug lesson. It's the isolation lesson. It's the having the child lesson. All these things. And when you're sharing the story, what keeps rattling in my brain is trust, trust, trust.
Yes.
You continue to trust. You shared with us walking up that North Hill in 2019, because you had Phoenix in April. Yes. And God parting the sea,
Yes.
basically, right? Yeah. And so
That's
you continue
crazy.
to listen, even though there's going to be trials along the way.
Yes.
There was several. You shared with us several.
Yes.
We don't want our young women giving up.
No.
We don't want to give up. We want to encourage them to trust in God.
Right.
And so, can you share with us a little bit what some of your thoughts maybe as to how a young person, a young woman, may find themselves in the same situation you were? I mean, what kind of encouragement, what kind of instruction do you think you can lay on them?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Trust in God. If you're in certain situations where you can't hear God because the noise and the chaos around you is too loud, trust in somebody that you can seek help from, because there are places out there that you can go to find help, and you just have to walk up your hill, whatever that looks like, and you have to surrender, and you have to admit that what step one is. Admit that we're powerless, that our lives have become unmanageable. And I'm not saying you got to go through all the 12 steps, but you will naturally, without even knowing it, without even focusing on it. But you're going to get to that point, because all of our rock bottoms look different. Seek out help.
So there's a young woman listening to the interview now. They're on YouTube and catching the podcast. They're in the same position you're in. You're saying, don't run to a trap house.
No.
Don't go seeking out a place where people are using or people are in their own crisis in life, right?
Right.
You're saying, get to someplace safe.
Yes.
So, we're talking like maybe a Department of Human Services, maybe even a child advocacy, a church for sure, right? I mean, they're not sure who to go to or who to call.
Right.
Who would the young lady right now considering making that choice, going up that North Hill in Minot? Who's she going to call?
I mean, if he or she are struggling, any sort of agency can be intimidating. I know I certainly was. Look for an angel on earth, somebody that has lost you. You know, as my friend put it, she said, I had to stop hanging out with you because I couldn't find you looking into your eyes. You know, a family member that maybe you used to have a relationship with, but definitely somebody sober, because you'll find God. And God will lead you to that person. Maybe it is a church. Maybe it is, I don't know, maybe a server at a restaurant. Hey, can you show me where Women's Way is? Or can you show me how to get into a treatment center? But there are agencies, and a lot of people don't know about all the resources, but just, and I know that being homeless, like a lot of people don't have phones, you don't have the internet, but go to the library. You can use the computers at the library all day.
Sure.
I remember using the library a lot. But yeah, somewhere safe that you can start your journey.
And let's encourage him as well to seek God, right? Let God play a role in that, because God's always there with us, right? We just don't recognize it at times, right? What an amazing story, Jasmine.
Thank you.
What an amazing story. You turned it around all from the grace of God.
Yes.
He's never left us. He's never left us.
No.
Do you have a favorite scripture? Or?
I do. One of my favorite Bible verses is 2 Corinthians 5:17. And it says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old is gone. The new is here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Or,
yes, please, another, please.
Or Phoenix.
Or Phoenix, of course.
Yeah, something new, reborn.
The boy who saved my life.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing grace.
God knew. He knew the plan. The way to get to you was to give you that pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And and for you to give you that choice.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
God loves us.
Right.
He absolutely loves us.
It does. And he didn't just keep showing up. I mean, he was always there. We're never truly alone.
That's right.
And I didn't understand that until I was thinking I was truly alone.
Right. So you are the worship leader at Legacy Church. Did you want to mention anything at all about the group you started?
Yeah, I had started going to church. I was also seeking out support groups, and I got connected to Celebrate Recovery, and there were a few in town, and there are a few in town now. I did the 12 steps, and I did like doing the 12 steps, but I felt like God was also saying to start something here at Legacy, because the message of Legacy is so cool. Corey,
Love and grace.
yes, love and grace, and everybody has a seat at the table, and that's how I was raised. No colors, no levels of trauma, no levels of sin. Everybody is equal. Addiction, unfortunately, is not the only struggle. So I wanted to have a group where everybody struggling could go. You inspired people, all these angels, because I consider you an angel, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I consider you one as well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, the Renew Group, I mean, we do want to mention it because it is a place for
Yes,
folks that
absolutely.
aren't just having addiction in drugs or drinking problems. I mean, if I can just help you share this a little bit.
Sure,
Right?
please.
So it's a single parent, right? It's someone who's living in isolation and someone that can't get out to make friends, right?
Right.
It's a meeting on Saturday nights with a meal.
With a meal.
Come have a meal at 5:30. Come listen to some worship songs that we play, right?
Yes.
Join in on the lesson reading.
Somebody that's grieving, yeah.
Right, and meet other people, right? Because the last thing we want to do when we're hurting for whatever reasons those are is to isolate ourselves and not get out.
Right.
So we want to encourage others to come out to the church. Saturday nights, 5:30 p.m.
Yes.
The group that you head, the Renew Support Group.
Yes.
Yeah, and we all get to play a little part of that.
Yes.
So we got that going.
Yes.
We would like to encourage folks to find a good Bible-based church.
Absolutely.
Continue to walk with the Lord. Keep those folks surrounded around you, right?
Yes. All the misfits are the ones that I feel most comfortable around, but we're all misfits. But like we all do struggle, whether we want to admit it or not. And Renew, I am hoping that, with the support that we all have, there's lots of people that are open to supporting this ministry, and I am going to continue to pray that it grows.
We'll share our phone numbers. We'll let people know that we're there
Yes.
because, we both got some background in our journeys are similar in many ways,
Yes.
right? And we know the glory of God, the love of God, and that's why we want to keep pitching that for people, right? Well, how about praying us out, Jasmine?
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful interview with you. I'm so glad to be able to sit down here. I consider it an honor, a privilege, and just a blessing to have you.
Thank you. And I
Thank you.
appreciate you for having me. I'll just pray us out. Gracious God, we just thank you so much for an opportunity to proclaim your grace in any way that might be. God, I personally thank you for the journey that you put in my life, that you've put these angels on earth around me, like Jack, like Connor. Thank you for this ministry, for this podcast that you have given this community. God, we know that you're going to continue to show your grace. You're going to continue to inspire minds. God, we know that you're going to reach out and wrap your arms around the listeners that need to hear you. God, thank you for the signs. Thank you for the boy that saved my life. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your forgiveness. God, we pray this in your Son's holy name, which we truly do acknowledge the sacrifice so that we can live freely. You are a rock. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you for joining the Legacy Community Talk podcast. God bless.